We're back, we're naked, and we're ready to party.
You're not really naked, are you?
Not physically, but here on the Naked Party Time podcast, we get real and raw about life, leadership, and love. So what do you say? Are you ready to get naked?
Let's do it.
I don't obey Jesus as quickly as demons do.
Dang.
Could I wash the feet of my betrayer? And how is the spiritual realm connected to our physical bodies? Those are a couple of things we're going to dive into today on episode 75 of the Naked Party Time podcast called Obey Like a Demon, as we catch up on life and talk about some things God's been teaching me recently from His Word. Welcome back, or welcome for the very first time to the Naked Party Time podcast, where we get real and raw about life, leadership, and love. If you're joining us on YouTube, hello to you guys there. No matter where you're watching or listening from, please make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an episode. Please like the episode, share it, drop a comment as well. All of those things do help spread the word about new content we put out. If you don't know, my name is jeffgmaness, and I am your host. And sitting across from me, as always, is my cruise companion, my maid of the mist, the color to the leaves of life's forest, my beach babe, my vacation vixen, my podcast partner, my best friend, and my queen, Sabrina. How are you doing, Sabrina?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Thanks. Feels like it's been a long time since we've done this.
I know.
It's only been a month.
It does. Well, because we recorded
June's podcast early on in May because we were going to be gone on our study break, which is where some of my introductory comments came from about you. We started our study break with a cruise, just you and I. That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. We
have found that for ourselves, there's nothing for us. We just relax the best on something like a cruise. Primarily because we don't have any responsibilities.
Right. Food's
prepared, room gets cleaned, entertainment's provided. Again, you can have your own opinion about cruising and what the food's like and entertainment's like. We love it.
I like all the decision making is taken away from me.
Yep. And in comparison to doing your own vacation, and if you go out to eat every meal, if you're paying for entertainment,
I also love exploring and doing all that, which we did some of that in New York, but I also just love having somebody else take care of everything for me.
Yep. So, again, when we go on a cruise, we don't pay for internet access. And so on a cruise, you're kind of forced to unplug.
Yeah.
Which we love about doing that. You read like 97 books on the cruise. How many did you read on the cruise?
I did. I read 7, I think, on
Everywhere
this cruise.
you went. At dinner, you would read. I'm like, why?
Not while we were eating.
Sometimes.
No, I did not.
While we were waiting in line for dinner.
Oh, yeah. Waiting in line. Yeah. Well, I got a Kindle for Mother's Day.
Yep. And little did you know, it revolutionized your life.
Oh my gosh. It has changed my life. And I did take that everywhere with me. And I loved reading. And there were days I just stayed in my room on the ship and read.
Yep.
Yes. And I loved it. It was so relaxing.
So we did do that. And then we went to Watertown, New York. It's upstate New York, northeast of Syracuse area, where Michaela and our son-in-law Sam are stationed at Fort Drum in the Army. We rented a house there, so I was able to get quite a bit of work done while you hung out with Michaela and Coulter every day. It was a perfect setup.
Yeah, it was really nice that they still had their place. We had our place.
Yep. I got a lot of study done, and then we were able to have dinner every night together with them.
Right.
It was almost like we were living near them.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to like play house in a sense that we were getting what we get with the Fishers. We were getting with the Berries, and so that was kind of fun to experience that.
And we don't know how many times left we have with them in New York, and so we wanted to hit a couple of sightseeing things while they were there. So we did go to Niagara Falls. And we rode the Maid of the Mist, which is a boat that goes right up to as close as you can get to the falls without dying.
Yeah, because it felt like a huge, you were in a huge, like, thunderstorm.
It felt like you're in a torrential rainstorm.
Yes, you couldn't hardly see because the rain was coming, or not the rain,
but
the
mist.
Yeah, was coming at you. But
Being
that should be on your people's bucket list.
It should be. We want to go back again now.
Yes, it was very, very
to be at the
cool.
base of the falls, which I don't remember how many millions of gallons that thing pours over in a day, but I mean,
it was like 600,000 gallons
like
a
second. Being at the base of that, the power of the waterfall was, I can't even describe it. You couldn't even hear.
Right, yeah. We couldn't, it's hard to hear standing next
incredible.
to each other. Yeah.
It was very, very much worth it. We were soaked and it was a blast.
Yeah, it was definitely a blast.
And then we also, drove up to Lake Placid, which is not too far, 2.5, 3 hours from where Michaela and Sam live. And it was gorgeous up beautiful. In the Adirondack Mountains. We want to go there and see the color in the fall. We drove up to Sackett's Harbor on Lake Ontario, like 30 minutes from their house, and major battlefield from the War of 1812 is there.
The history is
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really cool. We had the best fish and chips there.
Best fish and chips we've ever had.
We used to say it was Seattle for a long time, but man, the best.
Something in that breading was crack cocaine.
There was a seasoning I could not pinpoint, but man, it was addicting and good.
Yeah, at a little restaurant right on the harbor there of the lake. Yeah. It's a cool little town that we went to. And then we also went to Alexandria Bay, which again is only like 30, 40 minutes from their house. It's on the St. Lawrence River, which connects Lake Ontario to the Atlantic Ocean. It's a ship channel as well. Super cool. I mean, it's called the Thousand Islands.
Yeah.
There's literally 1,800 islands in this giant river with gorgeous homes on them.
Yeah, we took like a 2-hour boat ride and got all the history and it was amazing.
On that boat ride, you end with a tour of Bolt Castle. And when we say a castle, like it's a real legit, like 126 rooms, I think, in the castle, 6 floors. They're renovating it. It was owned by a man who, his last name is Bolt. I remember his first name. You can look it up. BOLDT.
Yeah.
Look it up.
It's really cool history.
It is very cool.
It's kind of like a true love story from back in the 1800s.
Yeah, he built the house for his wife.
And he bought the island and shaped it into a heart.
Yep.
So there's hearts everywhere.
My wallet ain't big enough to show my love that way.
It was amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And one of the things I loved about this, maybe his name was George Bolt. I can't remember his first name, but he started out as a dishwasher in a hotel when he was like 18 Astoria. And worked his way up. Like it was truly the American dream back then, and earned his money honestly. And
it was awesome.
It was really cool.
Became the general manager of Waldorf Astoria in New York. Actually started his own hotel in Philadelphia, the Bellevue, I think.
Yes.
Luxury hotel.
That's still standing today.
Yep. So we added something else to our bucket list to go see that. So we had a great time out there. Got to see a lot of Coulter, but trying to capture some things for as long as they're living there. We want to see stuff that's around there. We don't know if we're going to go back. So read a bunch of books, did a bunch of study, and worked on a lot of sermons over the break. Actually was back in the pulpit today, recording this on Sunday, July 12th. So I preached today, started a new series. But there were a couple of things from God's Word in my quiet time these are all from Study Break, that were kind of like aha moments for me. Or at least they just hit in a different way than we wanted to share them here. I actually had one really big revelation from God that's too personal right now to share on the podcast, but these other ones have been just kind of resonating with me. And so we're going to jump right in. Sabrina, what's the first one?
Number 1, I don't obey as quickly as the demons do.
I don't obey as quickly as the demons do. This was a gut punch, a knife to the heart.
Yeah, I told Jeff earlier when I read through the script last night, I was like, I had to stop and ask for forgiveness. I had to forgive myself. I had to ask God to forgive me. I'm like, so I don't know, buckle up because this stuff was so challenging to me that God has been teaching Jeff, things I have not put together before.
Yeah,
Wow.
like I said, there's a kind of aha. Like, I mean, I've read
Yeah.
these things, I don't know, hundreds. Hundreds is not an exaggeration. I've read or heard these things, and they just hit different.
Yeah.
So Mark 1:23-26 says this. Suddenly, a man in the synagogue who was possessed by an evil spirit cried out, "Why are you interfering with me, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know you are the Holy One of God." But Jesus reprimanded him. "Be quiet. Come out of the man," he ordered. At that, the evil spirit screamed, threw the man into a convulsions, and then came out of him.
Hmm.
First of all, every single instance of an encounter with a demon and Jesus, whatever Jesus says, they do it immediately. And this is just one of those instances.
Yeah.
And then also I realized from this one how confused the demons were. I think later on have you come to destroy us? So the demon, they were so confused. Why are you here? Have you come to destroy us? So remember, the devil and his demons are bound by space and time. They can only be one place at one time. So for these demons, they remember being thrown out of heaven.
Wow.
The last time they probably physically saw Jesus was in his glorified state in heaven when he threw him out. Like they were with Jesus before he took on flesh. So they knew he was the mighty one of God. And they weren't privy to the plans of God. They didn't know what the plan was.
Right.
So now when these demons see Jesus, God in the flesh, walking the earth, they were like, "Why are you here?" Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They had to be dumbfounded and terrified.
But it's like the way you're describing it, I almost like want to put myself in their shoes to kind of like think about how they thought when they saw Jesus, because we don't ever want to think like them, but they are, like you said, they already knew him, and they knew how powerful he was, and they knew that they weren't as powerful as him, but they had to be so shook, and they thought they were running the kingdom, and
their leader Satan is called the Prince of the Earth. He's been given dominion over the earth. I mean, that it just struck me how dumbfounded they must have been. And then I read another passage in Mark, and something else stood out to me for the first time, and this is relates to our point and the title of the whole podcast here today. Mark 3:11 and 12. And whenever those possessed by evil spirits caught sight of him, the spirits would throw them to the ground in front of him, shrieking, "You are the Son of God." But Jesus sternly commanded the spirits not to reveal who he was. And that last line, he commanded the spirits not to reveal who he was. As far as we know, they never broke that command.
Oh, wow.
Nowhere in the New Testament do we have a place where a demon revealed who Jesus was. And apparently they would have, or else he wouldn't have told them, "Don't say anything."
Yeah, interesting.
But if you counter that with people that he healed, a number of times Jesus would heal someone and then tell them not to tell anyone else what he did. And immediately they went and told people.
Yeah, every single time, right? They went and told somebody.
I think so.
The people never obeyed him in that.
So it just stood out to me. Demons obey Jesus' authority immediately. If he commands it, they do it. They know who he is. They've seen him in all of his glory. It really puts into view the prayer, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Meaning in heaven, when God commands something, it's done.
Wow.
And then second of all, I just confessed to the Lord, "Lord, I don't obey you as quickly as the demons do sometimes. Please forgive me." It's kind of what you were saying.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I better ask for forgiveness for that, because that's the same.
I mean, I was struck by that. Man, Lord, the demons, they didn't delay. When Jesus said it, boom, did it. And man, sometimes I sense the Lord saying something and I'll delay. I might eventually do it. I heard one pastor say, delayed obedience is still disobedience.
Man, that's very convicting too. Because how often do we hear him whisper
I know,
something
and we
in our
just,
spirit,
yeah,
and we think, oh, that wasn't him. That
yep.
wasn't him. And he's trying to get our attention. And
So again, I understand we have to discern the voice of God. We have a whole podcast episode on that a few podcast episodes ago. How to hear the voice of God. You do need there's discernment, but man, I know too many times in my life I have heard the Lord speak and I've just not done it.
yeah.
And man, the demons do it every time.
Crazy.
It is, or at least I should say, in the examples we have in the New Testament.
Yeah, what we've seen.
When Jesus told a demon to do something, they did it. Crazy. So the first thing Jesus revealed to me was, I don't obey as quickly as the demons do. What's the second thing?
Number 2, at times, the spiritual realm seems to be directly connected to the physical one.
Yeah. Literally meaning behind some physical issues, at least in the New Testament, there appears to be a spiritual attack, even demonic activity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we want to be very, very, very careful here.
Mm-hmm.
Because in no way do we want to present the belief that behind every cold is a cold demon. And behind every cancer diagnosis is a cancer demon. And
Right.
you can just cast the demon out and you're healed. Like, people die. I do believe demons are real.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they can oppress us in incredibly destructive ways, and that demons can possess people as well. But I also believe in the name of Jesus, we have authority over the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
In Luke 10, 18 and 19, just after the disciples returned from a ministry mission that Jesus sent them on, recounting the great things they did, Jesus said, yes, he told them, I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Look, I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy, and you can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them. Nothing will injure you. That snakes and scorpions is not literal. That's pointing to the spiritual realm. You can walk among the devil.
I wish it was literal.
Yeah. You can walk among the devil and his demons and crush them.
Yeah.
So we have authority over the enemy in the name, blood, power, and authority of Jesus, but our enemy does not go lightly nor go easily.
Right.
So demons are real.
Mm-hmm.
We have authority over them, but they still cause havoc in our lives today.
Right.
Anything you want to add there?
I always say there's like this fine line between giving the enemy too much credit,
Yep.
but also not giving him credit for some things he may be wreaking havoc in. Like, there is a fine line there. And sometimes, like you said, I think he's a little more involved sometimes when we believe he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he wants, right?
Yeah. Yes.
He wants you to believe
That's
that
good.
he's not real. He wants you to believe that he's not wreaking havoc. He wants you to believe he's leaving you alone. And one of his best things is if he can keep you as busy as possible, then he's doing his job good. But we don't always relate that because our busyness could be good things.
Yeah.
But even good things can be too much sometimes. Like he's very, or I should say he can be very subtle how he works, but it is
a fine line.
It is a fine line.
So we could talk more about this, but I want to get back to the thing I just felt Jesus kind of speak to my heart. In Mark 9, a father comes to Jesus with his son. A child is what Jesus called him. So it's not an adult son. It's a child, a little boy, who was possessed by an evil spirit and wouldn't let him talk. The spirit made him mute. Okay? The spirit would seize the boy. He'd foam at the mouth, grind his teeth. The father said that the demon would often throw the boy into the fire or into water, trying to kill him. That's from a parallel account in another gospel. The disciples couldn't get rid of this demon, and now the dad comes to Jesus, and it says this in Mark 9:25. When Jesus saw that the crowd of onlookers was growing, he rebuked the evil spirit. And this is what stood out to me. Listen, you spirit that makes this boy unable to hear and speak, he said. I command you to come out of this child and never enter him again. Again, that one statement stood out to me. You spirit that makes the boy unable to hear and speak. So apparently, an evil spirit caused this little boy to be deaf. And again, fine line here.
Yeah.
In no way do I want to say that everyone or even anyone who is deaf these days is possessed by a demon. Please do not go out saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm also not saying that if there is even if there is some sort of dark spirit that's afflicting someone with a physical manifestation, that it's their fault.
Yeah.
Or they did something to deserve it, or that there's some sort of sin in their life. It's not what I'm saying. Like, this happened to a child in the Gospel of Mark. Like, that stands out to me. A child can't do anything to deserve that.
Right.
So I'm not saying that. Like, we recognize sin has broken our universe.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we just experience disease.
Right.
And deformity and bodily issues. Like, I get that. We get sick in this sin-centered world that broke everything. All I'm saying is, after reading this, I just wonder at times if we don't take seriously enough the spiritual war we are in,
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to some physical issues we face.
Right.
So I started doing some digging. 8 distinct times when Jesus healed an individual, he directly connected that physical issue to an unclean or evil spirit afflicting them.
Interesting.
8 times. There's only 17 total distinct individual healings of people in the New Testament. If you take out the ones that repeat in the Gospels, 17 unique individual healings. 8 of them are connected to an unclean or evil spirit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Anything to
I just think,
add there?
like, when we are going through something, even though we're, our bodies are broken, we live in a broken world, like, it doesn't hurt to go to Jesus and be like, is there something I need to work on? Is there something inflicting me in the spiritual world?
Yeah.
Because Jesus knows. He can see it all. He knows it all. Is there something stuck in our subconscious that we need Jesus to reveal so we can work through it? Like, I just feel like it can be a both and.
Yeah.
We can run to Jesus and we can run to the doctor. They're both good.
Yep.
But sometimes we only run to one or the other, where I think we have to use both and let Jesus
there's a
reveal.
danger on both sides.
Yes.
There are people who truly believe that everything is spiritual, therefore they won't even see a doctor.
Right.
And I mean, there's tragic stories of parents who have sick children who literally refuse to take their children to the doctor, and they end up dying.
Yeah.
Believing that this is only spiritual, and that medical intervention would be not trusting in God to do what God can do. And so again, man, there is such a fine line. But when I learned that there was only 17 unique individuals recorded being healed, like stories of people, this one person being healed, and 8 of them, there was an unclean spirit attached to it. I'm like, man, Lord, open our eyes to help us see what we can't see.
Yeah.
Help us to know. Like, again, there are times we need to get to the doctor.
Yes. And God will use that.
Yes. You need to seek professional medical attention and help for many, many things. But I just wonder, Lord, how many times is there something spiritual? And maybe it's the spiritual thing is not even healing you of that illness, but he's allowing the illness to awaken a spiritual need within us.
Right. I've like the last 10 years that I've worked through anxiety, and I I kind of learned through my healing journey that when I started to feel anxious, it was kind of
It's a
God's
trigger.
way. It is a trigger. And for me, it was God's way of alerting
Yep.
me, hey, you need to work on something.
It's good.
And so I learned, not quickly, but over time, to run to him and be like, okay, what do I need to work on?
Yep.
I'm feeling anxious. Is there a lie that
Yep.
has surfaced and I need to get it out? Because our body tries to get stuff out that we've shoved down,
Yep.
and it can show up in all different ways. And running to Jesus. So, and for me, this is just my story. I've chosen to run to Jesus first. If there's something I need to work on, great. If I need to go to the doctor, great. I am truly believe
Yep.
both, and
Yep.
because Jesus can use them both. But I think sometimes we can ignore the Jesus part of it. And we all have trauma.
Yeah.
We all have lies. Like, we have an enemy that's been trying to take us out our entire lives. And so we all will have things
Yep.
that need to be processed and worked on that are just sitting in there, and our body wants to be done with it, but we have to do
Yep.
a little bit of inside work. And it's not the work we want to do, but sometimes it's the work we need
Yep.
to do.
Yep. Yeah. Last year I was having some physical issues that ended up having to have surgical intervention. And it's outpatient surgery. Still, it's always a big deal. But I remember going through leading up to that, before I had surgery scheduled, and I was dealing with this physical issue that I had. I remember you asking, as you always are so good at doing, because I delay. Have you asked Jesus if there's anything that he wants to do? And through that process, you led me through a lot
Mm-hmm.
of listening prayer. And the Lord did a lot of work, and the physical issue remained.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't healed.
Right.
Now, through medicine and surgery, I was. Praise the Lord for modern medicine.
Right.
You know, God gave the human brain that thought of all these things.
Right.
But it was God used, he used the pain
Mm-hmm.
to cause me to ask, led by your prompting, is there something that you're wanting to reveal here in me? And he did. Like, we worked through some deep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it didn't make my physical issue go away.
No, but it's still healing.
100%.
Like, in the emotional,
Yeah.
the mental, the spiritual, like.
You are so good at asking quickly when there's a physical manifestation of anything in you, of asking Jesus, is there something I need to work on? I'm slower.
Well, but I've been practicing for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it better be quick for me. My goodness.
So anyway, it was like this aha, like, man, there is a apparent in the New Testament direct connection between the spiritual and physical realm that I want to be more sensitive to,
Yeah.
personally.
Well, and I think that's where I brought up the busyness. I mean, we've talked about that
True,
before
yeah.
in here. We have to slow
Yeah,
our lives
to
down
even ask the question.
to have the time
Yeah,
to
that's
dialogue,
good.
to have the time to listen, to
That's
sit
really good.
still
Yep.
and not say anything back to him. Like, we do have to make some calendar changes. It's good for our physical
Yep.
body, but also our spiritual body. And so, I mean, that mind, body, soul, it is all connected. Jesus,
Yep.
God, Holy Spirit designed it. We're the temple, we're the Ark of the Covenant.
Yep.
Like it's living inside of us. And so
it's
we have
good.
a lot to take care of, but
good.
the tools are
Yeah.
out there.
It's awesome. So the last one, I didn't know how to make it into a statement, so I just asked it in a question when we started the podcast today. What's the last one today?
Number 3, would I wash the feet of my betrayer? I don't like this one.
No, me either.
Well, I mean, I
So-
don't like any of them, but
Yeah.
it's all convicting.
So as I was in the Gospels for my quiet time while we were on study break, of course, a number of stories you repeat in the Gospels.
Yeah.
One of them being the Last Supper.
Mm.
There are, I believe, the Last Suppers in all 4 of the Gospels in different perspectives. And I was finishing John. So I already read Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and I was just struck by something when I got to John in the story of this last night of Jesus with his disciples. I'll actually be using this in an upcoming message. We're in a sermon series on the Sermon on the Mount. So I'll be using this in our message on loving our enemies. But in John 13, Jesus starts by washing the disciples' feet. And it just always blows me away that he did this for Judas.
Yeah.
Just blows my mind. Like, he had already betrayed Jesus. And later that night would lead the soldiers to the garden to arrest him. I mean, so it blows my mind. Then later on at dinner in John, he offers Judas some bread. Now, some argue whether this was just the bread of friendship at supper or the communion bread. Either way, like, Jesus is trying to extend fellowship to him. One commentator said that this was giving Judas one more gracious chance to repent.
But Jesus knew what was coming.
I know, it just boggles my mind.
But he does those things for us.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing we would even read it one day.
Yeah.
It was literally Jesus saying, I still love you, Judas. Almost makes me emotional.
Yeah, that's why I started to tear up when you said that.
Like, even though I know what you're about to do, eat with me. Golly. But the one that stood out to me the most, why are we getting...
I don't know.
We're both getting emotional. I don't got tissues on my side.
I know, I have the Kleenexes.
The one that stood out to me the most was this. When Jesus said to the disciples at dinner, one of you will betray me, none of them, not one, suspected it was Judas. In fact, all of them asked, am I the one, Lord?
Yeah.
Which actually tells you a lot about how they viewed their own faith. They knew what they were capable of.
Wow.
But it just stood out to me that if no one knew it was Judas, that means Jesus treated Judas, his betrayer, his enemy, so well that none of the disciples knew which one would betray him. He never hinted that, hey, maybe, Peter, I wouldn't trust Judas if I were you. Never pulled his inner circle aside and say, you'll never believe what Judas is planning behind my back. He didn't have an attitude with him, didn't ignore him, didn't discount him, or distance himself from him. And that is crazy talk. When I feel like someone's against me, like, how quickly do I try and gain support from others? Right?
Yeah, I feel like there's been seasons, like, depending on what you're dealing with, where I'm like, Jesus, this is too hard to act like you. Like, I just tell him that. I'm like, I don't know. And I always think of this story of the way he treated Judas. And then if you've watched The Chosen, I have the whole Last Supper in my head, and I can picture, and I'm like, I don't know that I can be like you. Like, what you're asking us to do is so hard.
Yep. And I know we all need a safe place to express our anger, our frustration with someone who might be against us or mistreating us. We need a place to express ourselves, but come on, people.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah.
So many times we aren't talking we aren't talking about that other person because we need a safe place. We're doing it to get people on our side.
Yeah.
To make us feel better.
Well, we want to validate our opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our feeling towards them. And again, like you also might need to truly like get to a safe place physically. I'm not saying you should remain around somebody who's going to betray you to the point of death like Judas did. That's the ultimate example.
Right.
So it wasn't just the washing of the feet or the offering of the bread that stood out to me. It was just his whole life towards Judas was indistinguishable from his life towards anyone else. I have such a long way to go.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
It's why it is a journey. And even in your message today, I was just like, help us all to keep walking towards you, because it is a process, and is work, and it's hard work, and it's consistent work, and we don't always feel like doing it.
Yep.
But man, just help us all to keep running towards you.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, there you have it. 3 things that God really challenged me on, taught me, revealed to me, whatever you want to call it. I don't obey as quickly as the demons do. At times, the spiritual realm seems to be directly connected to the physical one. And would I wash the feet of my betrayer? How do I actually act and feel about those who might be against me? Lord willing, we'll be back in the next month with another podcast. I think, Lord willing, we'll have a guest next month.
Oh.
Yeah, so be looking for that. If you do have a subject that you'd like us to cover, a question you want us to answer, you can email us hello@jeffgmaness.com. Drop a comment on social media, a comment on YouTube, direct message us. We'll get to it. Don't forget to describe, comment, like, rate, and review. Share the podcast, please, no matter where you're listening or watching from. And Sabrina, why don't we end, as we always do, with our marriage mission? Remember it?
As you were getting to that part, I was like, I hope I remember this. We haven't done it in a while.
We are united in Christ, unstoppable with Christ, and unbreakable because of Christ. Now it's time for you to go get naked
and party.
We'll see you on the other side. You've been listening to the Naked Party Time podcast. We hope that this has helped you be more real and raw in your life, leadership, or your love. Please like, rate, review, and comment wherever you see the podcast posted. We are so thankful that you are listening.